How's it going, everyone? Dilo Barber here with another video, this time doing a blowout low taper, and we start by disinfecting our machines, all our shavers, trimmers, everything. I grab my hair grips and I divide the area when I'm gonna put the fade in. It's not too high, not too low, just enough to clear the area well so I can line up and make the fade. With the 1.5 guard lever open, I flick out the area when I'm gonna put the line up, all the contours. And I flick it out because I don't want to make a hard line. I mean, it's gonna be a low taper, so I want it to be dark. That's why I'm flicking it out and being careful not going too high. And I do it all the way around the ear and the C-cups, so when I put the trimmers, it's not too hard. There won't be loose hairs and all the lineup is gonna pop. And also I clean out the area where I'm gonna put the fade in. Like you can see there, I'm cleaning up all the area. That's where I'm gonna put the zero, the guidelines, everything. I help combing the hairs a little bit with the brush, but you can do it with the comb too, it doesn't matter. But in there I'm doing the same thing, just cleaning up the contours, the C-cups around the ear, the area where I'm gonna put the fade in, flicking out, don't going too high, just like that. And I move the ear so it can be easier. That also is a good tip. And now with the trimmers, I'm gonna start doing the ball line. I don't go too high, I go above, a little bit down where the ear ends, and I clean up all the area, all the hairs down below that line. So when I pass the shaver, I don't have trouble cutting all the hairs, because with the shavers, the hairs has to be all cut like trimmer size. Because if not, if you leave some long hairs, the shavers are gonna get stuck, or you're gonna hear it decline, you're gonna pull up some hair, it's gonna hurt. So you don't want that. So make sure that you don't leave some hairs there. Clean it up very well. As you can see, I'm double checking, and I'm doing the same with the other side. I go about a little bit more below that end of the ear, and I always keep my area clean with the brush. With the clippers no guard lever open, I'm gonna start my first guideline above that ball line, about 1/2 inch in a flick out motion. My next guideline is gonna be with the one lever open, about 3/4 of an inch above that half guideline. And then I'm gonna proceed to close the lever and take out that middle line right there. That is gonna be the line between the half and one open, that it will be the 1.5. Just like that, I take out that middle line just right there. And then with the shavers, I clean up all that bald area to make it skin, and I don't go all the way to the top. Then with the clippers no guard lever close, I'm gonna start flicking out that line in a scoop out circles motion, and I'm gonna just hit that bottom line. And then after I do that, only with the corners of the blade, I'm gonna open the lever and take out the rest of the line between the shaver and the half guideline. And that's when it starts to connect the fade a little bit more. There's still gonna be a little bit of a line in the bottom, but don't worry, you can open and close the lever to help you take it out. And if you don't, that is gonna be almost always the case. You grab the trimmers, and with the corners of the blade, you take out that final bottom line that is left there, so you can clean up the fade a lot better. And there is gonna you start seeing the fade is already came out together, but there's still some details between that 1.5 and all the hairs that are long. And that's where I grab my scissor over comb, and I start taking out that line, all those dark spots that I see, only with the tips of the scissors, as you can see, with my comb helping me see all those hairs. And that's how I'm gonna blend all that transition. And then with the point cutting technique, helping with my fingers, as you can see behind those scissors, I'm gonna start cleaning up the details between the bottom line of the zero and the shavers, and I just hit the dark spots. I just detail all the things that I couldn't get with the clippers, and you can see the difference right there. And then I clean it up a little bit more, the contours behind the ear and the C-cups a little bit, because I see a lot of hairs that stick out and I don't want to have problems with the trimmers. I start the lineup stepping in front of the client so I can see the natural ways, and I just do a little tip in the front in the start, and then I go to the side and finish the arch, and I just give that curve, and it's kind of like uniting that little tip I did in the front to the side with a curve. That's all it is. It's very easy, as you can see, and I try to look it all the way through all the angles, so no matter which angle you look it from afar, it's gonna look lined up. That's very important, because sometimes you line up like one side or one angle and you look it from another side and it's not lined up. There's some still hairs bothering there. That's why it's very important to you to check all the angles, look a little bit from the side, from afar, from the front. And then in the back of the ear, I help it with the hand. As you can see, I move the ear, I manipulate it so I can pass the trimmer a lot more easy. Then in the back of the taper, I'm gonna do the same steps. I'm gonna repeat the same steps. First, with the first guideline, it's gonna be the half. There's gonna be the clippers lever open. Then with the one guard lever open, like about 3/4 of an inch. Then close it up right away over there and start to flick out that middle line, making it disappear. It's some very simple steps, always helping with the brush and the things to keep it clean. Now with the shavers, going all the way below that ball line to make it skin till I see no more dark dots. Then with the lever closed, flicking out that bottom line, just using the corners of the blade, and then right away open it up so I can finish cleaning up that middle line that was left there. Remember, only using the corners of the blade in a flick out motion, like some little circles, so you can get that side angle better. And then with the clipper over comb, I'm gonna start making that transition between the fade and the top of the hair better. As you can see, I only hit that like that little, it's like an inch area. I don't go too high because I want to keep that blowout taper dark and long so I can texturize it later. So I only hit it's like an inch area between the fade and the top transition area that I'm gonna work with, only using the clipper over comb. And I don't go too high, too hard, because I want it to be blowout. I don't want it to be so down to the skin that there's no more long hair. Then I'm start lining it up. As you can see, I try to keep it natural, and I help it with the other hand that I have to make that line up better, and also help it a little bit with the grip. Also in the other hand, where I'm holding the trimmer, I don't know if you can see that I'm like putting pressure with my fingers on the face so I can have a better grip. And I do the same thing in the other side, trying to keep it natural, just line it up the hairs that are sticking out, and I help it with my other hand to manipulate the ear so it's easier. And as you can see, I'm putting pressure too with the other hand, like I put my hand on the client's head. And then with my half guard, only using the corners of the blade, I'm gonna start going a little bit higher in the fade so I can take those dark spots. And I'm gonna close it a little bit too between the middle, because I see some details over there and I needed my half guard to clean it up. And then I finish the work of the details with the scissor over comb technique, only cutting the dark spots, only using the tip of the scissors, because I don't want to cut all the hairs. I just want to cut where the dark spots are. And if I see a long hair loose on the top, I cut it right away, why not? And always remember keeping your area clean. Then I'm gonna start the other side of the fade, same way, half guard, guideline, one guard, lever open, guideline, close the lever, take it away right away, in the middle, using the shavers to clean the bald skin, corners of the blade, lever close, all that bottom line, then open it up a little bit so I can finish fading the middle of that line. With the trimmers, clean it up, all the shaver between zero transition, only corners of the blade, and finishing by detailing the transition fade to the top, only with the scissors, point cutting technique, so I can take those details in the zero better. And again, I use a little bit of the scissor over comb technique to help clean up the contours, the lineup, and some dark spots are still there. I try to point cutting. This is very easy, very quick. And there I'm gonna start my lineup on the other side, same, looking right in the front, tipping out the corner, and then going to the side to give it that arch, that curve right there. trying to keep it natural, looking from all the angles, just like that. And then in there I help it with both of my hands so I can have a better grip, more precision. I clean it up. Later I'm gonna pass the razor, so I don't want also too many long hairs, so it can be more smooth. And rest like that, I'm trying to make it a little bit of freehand with those hairs, keeping my area clean as always. And then it's gonna be time to pass the razor, so I put before some shaving gel so it is not dry, it doesn't irritate the client. I go right here against the grain because I don't see too much to do, so it's very quick. Just do it against the grain right away. Usually it's like first with the grain, then against the grain, but right there the hairs are already short and there's not too much, so I just go right away against the grain. And remember, always changing the blade before or after every client. Don't be doing that dirty work of the barbers that don't care about their clients. Always change the blade. And right there I help it like stretching the skin with my other hand, so it's a lot smoother. As you can see, I'm putting pressure, and with the other hand I'm stretching it out. That's gonna help you a lot. And there I stretch the ear, because when you stretch the ear you can stretch the skin too. You can see too much over there, but don't worry, you're gonna clean up that area later. And as the same right there, I stretch the skin, I pass the razor, and there I see some details. I point cut it real quick. I didn't point cut it in the back and the head like that, so I just go ahead and do it. Remember to do all the steps, no matter if you don't seem like doing it. And then with the Kiss Express Darkest Brown, I'm gonna put a little bit of spray paint in there so I can make the lineup pop a lot more. The lineup already pops a lot, and I just wanna make it pop more. I mean, it doesn't take me nothing more but like 1 minute or two. And then with a dry towel I take out all the excess of the paint, because you don't want to be leaving all that dark weird stuff. I take out the grips, the hair grips, and I'm gonna start doing the cut in the top with the scissors. He only wanted like a ½ inch off, so I'm gonna try to give it a little bit of texture. That's why I'm not cutting like all the way straight, and I'm doing like little triangles, point cutting in the banks of the hair. I grab it from up to upside down, because he's gonna come to the front, so you gotta keep in mind how the client comes. If he comes to the side, like you gotta give it that side angle cut. If it comes to the front, you gotta cut like that. Like if he wears it, like he comes it to the front, to the down, so I put the hair down or in front and I cut it right there, just ½ inch, trying to point cut it so it doesn't go all the way straight. I'm gonna add some product later, so I'm just texturizing every part of the head on the top so it can pop a lot more when I put the product. And also clean a little bit the area where there was a lot of hairs that couldn't let me see the lineup. And then I'm gonna grab a little bit from the top in the middle, because I haven't cut that part yet, or at least I'm just giving a little bit more texture all the way through the cut. That's gonna help me a lot when I put the product later. And I just grab the middle at some point and I start dragging it all the way to the back. That way I'm doing like a guideline of a cut somehow. And I do the same thing on the other side. I grab a little bit in the middle from the front in the bangs, and I start dragging it around all the way to the back of the head in the same way, just taking ½ inch, only the tips with the point cutting technique. I'm not doing straight cuts. I want the hair to have some texture, so that's why I'm not cutting like all the same length. And I'm gonna do the same with the sides. I go a little bit on the front and I drag it around all the way through the back. And as you can see, I did a little bit from the sideways, so I'm now doing all the way from front to the back, so I can check if the hair is even. Now I do the same thing, but looking at from the front to the back. And then with my thinning shears, I'm gonna start debulking all that excess from the hair in the side. Like the way I see it is that I looked at it and it seems like a lot of weight in there, so I'm just trying to make that weight a little bit more light and also shaping it up a little bit more. And as you can see, it's all starting to come together. I do it more than anything in the contours, the C-cups, and where the bangs fall through the side, and in the back in the head, that is where all the weight that I don't want is gonna be laying. Because on the top it doesn't matter too much, I don't do it all the way there because my client already has really straight thin hair, so I just want to take it out from the hair that I'm taking the looks of the shape that I want. As you can see, it looks like he has a lot of weight in there, like even covering the taper, so I'm trying to take those hairs out of the way. I kinda do a little bit more with the trimmer of the comb because I see that those hairs are kinda bothering the lineup or the looks, so it's just a little bit of detail more with the trimmers. It's never too late to detail a haircut. And then with the texture powder, I'm gonna start giving it that looks that I want. I'm kinda messing around with the hair, just messing around with it just like that, putting some in the back, in the sides, and the top. This is like a French crop style haircut, so it doesn't have to be like even with shave. I just mess around with it. It's a blowout taper, it has to look like that. And as you can see, I'm trying to give it the shape that I want, and with the brush I'm keeping it clean because all that product is falling to his hair and to his face. And just like that, look how that texture pop out because I do those cuts not straight and I thin it out the way I want it. And then I see some hair like laying there around sticking out, so I just make a little detail and that's it. And there you go, a low blowout taper. That's the final results. Let me know if you liked it, share the video, give it a like, comment what you think, and subscribe to see more.